Welcome back, everybody, to the AnythingOU Podcast. Man, does that feel good to say? I got a pretty recognizable faces here in the OU community. We got Drew England. We got our boy DaShaun. Man, how y'all doing?
Doing great, man. How about you?
Bro,
It's good,
I'm
it's good to
living.
hear those words again.
First one back.
I agree, bro.
First one back.
We had to bring the OG
First one
back.
back.
You know how it was.
Come on, old school.
Yeah,
brother.
bro. So, DaShaun, very first question I want to ask you, me being a Cowboys fan, I haven't really cared about the NFL since we took the L. What are your thoughts on this upcoming Super Bowl, bro?
I'm going all in on the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. I just am. Probably because of just the type of leader and the type of player he was for us, and just kind of seeing that firsthand. I really feel like he deserves it, bro. That man works hard. He's one of the hardest workers I know, and that's saying a lot. I've seen a lot of talented players. He's one of the hardest workers I know. He's par none, so I'm rooting for him.
No, for sure, I am too, bro.
Speaking of Jalen Hurts, I know we were talking about this before we got on, before we hit the record button, but take us back to that game in, was it 2019?
Yeah,
2019.
The comeback against Baylor.
yeah.
And our boy Jalen Hurts, you guys on the defense. We were talking about the Nick Bonito play, but what stands out? And you were talking about his leadership and everything from that year. He was only at OU for 1 year. What did that mean to you? And just seeing it firsthand. Now that we're talking about the Super Bowl and just why, give us a little snapshot of why people are seeing him have the success he is now in Philly.
I feel like sort of all the hard work is catching up for him. I really do believe that. I think that he's put so much into it, and even when there was a point in this game where he probably still sees a lot of things that he can fix and get better at. But I think that even when in college, when he was sort of coming to that realization that there were some things that he wanted to do better, and just watching how hard he's worked at it, like you compare his arm talent to his senior year in college to what it is right now, he looks like a damn near new quarterback. Like it's a serious difference. Yeah. And so I think just his commitment to his craft, man, and just who he is. He's a leader. He's built on morals, principles, and he's one of those guys you want to lead your team. So
no, 100%, bro. I don't know what when he was in college, everybody knew he was that dude.
Oh yeah,
but, bro. I don't know what it is about the NFL, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Bro, he's a dog. He's insane.
Yeah.
But
that's been his mentality too. I feel like that mentality is just taking over the Eagles. So
well, and I think he's always had a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. And he's went out every single time and just went over and above and just exceeded everybody's expectations. Because if you would have told me, I'll be honest, if you'd have told me that the guy who's going to have the most success coming out of OU as a quarterback would have been Jalen Hurts, I'd have been like, I don't know, but it is very true right now. So, and I love Kyler Murray. Don't get me wrong. I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan, and then Baker, going through his things, but
of course,
Jalen, man, has done his thing and has done it well. And I'm rooting for the Eagles too. I never thought I'd say that, but
man,
I'm going to root for the Eagles.
I'm a Cowboy fan. It's
bro,
tough.
I can't.
Yeah. So
I'm I love Jalen, respect, but I can't. I can't do it.
I see that. Us being a Cowboy fan, I understand.
Yeah, I can't.
And I know we got a lot of OU guys on the Chiefs, but I've never liked the Chiefs.
I'd much rather root for Blake Bell get a ring than Jalen right now.
Our boy Creed Humphrey. I mean,
get
there's a lot of
I won't be mad either way.
I mean, Zeus. You got. I mean, there's a lot of them. James Winchester might get his second one. He's a long snapper.
I mean, we already know who's winning next year. Cowboys win the Super Bowl. But
come on.
No, we won't, bro.
Here we go, folks. Way too early. They're already on the hype train again.
Yeah,
dude.
Hey, who knows? Hey, I might root for the Cowboys if our boy, lands himself in his hometown in Dallas and plays there. So
don't let that happen, dog.
That would be hard. I may have to go back to the Cowboys.
You want to see a pissed off DaShaun and a Hall of Fame career? Put him on the Cowboys.
Hey, we're gonna make that happen either way. But the Cowboys gives it a little bit, a little extra push on the butt.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, so kind of switching paces here, back to college football. You know, season ended not quite where I think where a lot of the fans thought we would be. You know, if you remember, DaShaun, when we would talk privately and through these, I had us at 11-1.
Yeah.
And you know, stuff happens, life goes on. You know, it's the way that the Lord paved out for us OU fans and for you players as well. But what are your thoughts on this past season?
Yeah. You just hit it on the nose, bro. Like, it's what the Lord planned out for us. This was he took this group of people in this one area of University of Oklahoma football team, and this is what he put us through this season. And I think that the most important thing is that everybody learns and grows from what they needed to during this season of our life, because you're not going to lose every season in your life. But when you do lose, you got to be sure you learn as much as possible. You stay on your feet and you keep going. So,
yeah,
100%.
I think that's a good segue into the next question that I had. And what did you learn most about yourself? Not only through this tough season, but just, you know, as a whole, and then even looking back to your career, now that your career's over at OU, looking back, what do you miss the most, and kind of what did you learn more about yourself?
What did I miss the most? I go with that, man. My teammates, bro. I still be seeing like some of the stuff on Twitter and Instagram. I'm like, man, I miss those guys. You know, those are people I've gotten really close to for the last 4 or 5 years, and so definitely miss my teammates. And then where did I learn and grow? I would say this last year was big for me in just leadership and just kind of really growing up, understanding that even when things might be best for me, it's better for me to do what's better for the team. And so whether that be my preparation going into a game, I think that the biggest thing I learned about my football leadership is that, I don't know, when I'm kind of joyful and bouncing around and bringing the energy and kind of being that guy for the team, I feel like the team feeds off of that much better than when I'm like locked in, like mad sort of before the game. And so there were a few instances where just organically, like I'd be mad as I don't know what going into a game, where I would just kind of take a second, like, all right, let's get back to bringing the joy and bringing the energy, and because there's a balance, you know, I can flip that switch right before the game, but I think that our team sort of being able to have that joy and that bounce to our step was really big. So,
yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, the best part about that is, you know, growing up, becoming that man and that leader is it not only in football, but it'll help you in all aspects of life. And that's the most important thing, is like at the end of the day, it is just a game, but it teaches you a lot about yourself and like the direction of what man you want to become throughout life. So, I mean, I didn't get to experience football.
Best game in the world.
Yeah, wasn't able to, but I know from when I was in high school, even running track, it was like you learn about yourself. You learn, you know, it's at one point in time, it comes to a point of like you push yourself and you just see how much can you like handle.
How much can you get? Yeah.
Yeah, and how much can you get out of yourself? And that's the most important thing. And with you and, you know, all those things that you did in your career at OU, it's beautiful to see that, like, when somebody just simply sets their mind to something and tells themselves that, like, they will achieve no matter what, bro, it's a beautiful thing to see.
No doubt.
And especially, you know, ever since we had you on the show, I remember asking you before the season, stuff like that, of like your favorite moments and stuff. But now that it's all said and done, what is your favorite moment at OU?
That's tough. That's real tough.
That's a lot.
There is.
Yeah.
The Baylor moment's got to be in there. I would say even my freshman year, the win against Army at home was.
Oh gosh, dude,
that was a nighttime.
I was in the north end zone, man, and
yeah.
Oh gosh, that was probably one of the most stressful games I've ever been through as a fan.
That's man.
You know, we had 4 offensive possessions that whole entire game and scored every time.
I didn't know that.
28 points.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
The time of possession was crazy.
They had. It was.
That game was. That was definitely up there.
Kenneth Murray had like 20-something, 22 tackles or something like that.
Oh
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that game because it was
Buzzy,
probably the most stressful game as a fan.
Oh yeah, Curtis Bolton had like 20 tackles that game as well. They had like paired for the most tackles or something. Like it was some crazy.
They wore us out with the dive and the trap, and you know, it was just. I was like, "Oh,
that's
come on.
Army for you, bro."
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
Hey, that's how it goes. If Army gets a guy like Kyler Murray, they gonna be crazy. If they get a Kyler Murray, they're gonna be wild.
No, imagine putting Kyler in a wishbone offense.
That's what
bro.
Unfair.
No.
Unfair, like Madden.
Crazy.
No, but so Baylor, is there any other games for you that stand out? Like
let me see.
That 2018 Texas Big 12 Championship. That
I was gonna say the 2018 Texas.
One of them ring games.
Both of those games were big, fun. This year I'm gonna go with Iowa State. I just like the vibe of the team that day and just who. Yeah, I would say Iowa State. Yeah, those are some big games. I don't know. Most of the moments are just like silly little laughs and stuff. Like the moment I wish I could say what I'm thinking, but I'm not going to. I'm not even going to.
I mean, for me, bro, it was that Nebraska game by far. We were talking about before we started recording, bro. That game, man.
I did leave that one out of there.
Yeah, that game. Well, it was cool because it was like I remember all the chatter, right? Like at that point, going into that game, we were 2-0, and all the chatter was like, if there's any team that's going to beat OU this year, it's going to be Nebraska. And we walked in there, bro, and y'all just destroyed them.
Walked them, bro.
Just walked all over them.
Nah, I think that what made that game so fun was that atmosphere. It was wild.
Really?
As quick as that place got loud, it got quiet. It got real quiet in Lincoln, Nebraska. And that was something that I didn't expect, to be honest, because I've heard all the stories about their fans being, and their fans were wild, man. It was loud as I don't know what in there. At 11 a.m., it was loud as I don't know what. But
it was cool
for us to sort of shut it down like that. That's what I
it was cool for me to like, you know, I'm sure you didn't either. I didn't grow up with that like OU Nebraska rivalry. Like I didn't like, you know, I'm sure Drew did. So like for Drew, it was like it's back, and for me, it was like I don't really care about this rivalry, but whatever. And then you know, DJ that first year gets that crazy interception.
The home game was because it was hot as all get out.
And
we couldn't find any water anywhere. It's like we were in the desert, and
bro,
there was nothing. It was, and Christian, you were probably. I don't know.
That was 3 days after my 21st birthday. Sooner Nation, y'all know me, so y'all know how I was feeling that game.
Yeah,
but 3 days after,
and then bro, it was
hot.
Yeah,
it was really hot.
I was dehydrated and I wasn't even playing. So
I got lucky because I was in the south side end zone, that new the new section, and so I had a little bit of shade.
You had the little,
we were in the north end zone as always. And no shade down there at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Bro, I remember walking in. You'd go up into that little VIP section. You'd sit in the air conditioner for a little bit, and then you walk back down. And, bro, I'll never forget that. That game was crazy. But one of the things that we also wanted to ask you, bro, was, like I said earlier, this wasn't our year, but God puts you in positions to where, you know, see what you can handle, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. And what are your thoughts on the future of the program? You know, I mean, we got a lot of good, solid guys. BV's getting his people in here, and that's what you want to see. And, you know, number 4 recruiting class is what fans like to see. Yeah. But what are your thoughts?
Man, I couldn't be more excited, to be honest with you. It was even sort of a feeling throughout this season. It was like, it kind of felt like we were, unfortunately, we kind of had to groom for the future. We kind of had to set the foundation for the future, and just knowing what's already there and knowing what they're going to go get and how much guys have been locked in and just bought into what BV's saying, and just knowing what BV's saying and knowing it's the right things. Like I'm so pumped and hyped to be. I guess I'm stepping into my OU fan life, but I'm gonna go hard. Like I'm gonna be talking my trash on Twitter during the games, all that. So,
bro, I'm gonna fall right in line with Nick and those guys, right?
I'm
carry on all over. You're the next guy up, right?
Got to.
Old heads now, so.
Perion's one of my
Perion on another level though.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite
level.
follows on Twitter, bro. Because you pull his Twitter up and
during
like you
football
watch it
season,
live
I
with
hit
the
that
game.
bell for notifications.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what's next, man.
He be
I'm
going
like, here we
hard,
go,
man.
because he's gonna give me something good. So
Well,
Every day, every time.
he says it straight up, like,
Yeah,
"No,
he
that's a
says
bad
it like
call." It'll be like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like, that's a
yeah. You're not lying.
put some other words in there too. I love it. But
Oh yeah.
to go along with the future of the program, and I know you guys were close because you got to really work with him and be around him every single day, more than I think most people. But talk about Coach Venables and what he meant to you personally, because everybody got to see him as a head coach, but you worked with him, because he worked closely with linebackers and everything like that. But talk about Coach Venables and what he meant to you just in your short time. You were only there for 1 year, but had to make an impact on you.
No, man. Talk about an impact. Like this is, you just hit it on the nose. I hadn't known him nothing but a little over a year now, and to be honest with you, I feel like he's impacted my life a lot, a whole lot, a lot more than people that I've known for a very long time. I can never be able to repay me or repay him for all the things that he's taught me. As far as, not even as far as football. I know I had this conversation with my mom a few months ago. She was like, "Are you happy with your decision to come back, etc.?" And I was like, "Man, without a doubt. If I had came back and gotten injured, it would have sucked. But like I left just such a more complete man all around, and just more sure of myself, more confident in who I am. And I just honestly, I feel like that was a big turning point for me in my game as well. I know this offseason for me was a lot. Obviously, it was about getting my body better and a lot of things like that. But this offseason prior to this season was a lot about getting my mental right, let me find where I'm most comfortable in my head and just being that sort of deal. And he helped me out with that a lot. And so,
and not only that, but you changed a little bit as far as position wise too. You moved from inside linebacker to that ever hard position that everybody's talking about now, because everybody's wondering, who's going to fill that spot this year at the cheetah position. And man, you ate it up, especially the back half of the season. You really came into your own and learned that position, because it's not an easy position. When you go back and look at Coach Venables and the guys that he's had at that position over the years, especially at Clemson, I know everybody wants to put Isaiah Simmons, a lot of those guys in that spot. But how hard was that for you? And then once you kind of got in there and filled that role, you were a leader all year on the defense. Not only that, but as a just as a whole, take us through that and your role changing on the defense and then going in and owning that cheetah position.
Yeah. At first it was, I'm gonna be honest, when we were learning the defense, I kind of had my eye on the cheetah spot. When he was talking about it, I'm like, all right, you're naming a lot of stuff that I think I'm pretty good at. I'm not gonna say nothing, but you're naming a lot of stuff that I think I do at a high level.
DaShaun said,
"Sign me up."
I'm telling you, I was kind of side-eyeing it, but man, I love Will too, so I was good at Will. But once we had, obviously TDA went down, which sucked, man. Our numbers were all shifted up, and so he was like, "Man, we got to get you over to Cheetah. We got to get a body with some experience, etc." And so for me, it was like, man, there was no hesitation. Like, it's just, I was excited too already, because I was looking forward to the position, and then just having BV, who was already highly touted in my mind, asked me to come play that position. It was an easy thing. So playing the position though is not that easy.
I think people and the average fan gets lost on them, because you have a big responsibility there. You're asked to play in coverage. You're asked to come and play in the box. Yeah. You're asked to do a lot of read stuff there, especially on the edge, and everything like that. And shoot, we even saw you drifting back there to safety and doing some other stuff, in the back end. So it is a demanding role, and you filled it really well for us. And man, I just wish you had one more year to see 23 roll back out there. But it's been fun to see you and obviously get to know you, and then obviously your journey's not done now. So it'd be fun to see, the future and, not only what the program does, next step, but also what you do in the future too.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with that.
Well, and even speaking of the future, DaShaun, give the people a little insight, man. What's next for you?
Yeah, right now I'm out in Houston, Texas. I'm out here by myself, just training. I'm training at 369 Sports with my dog Tim. He actually trained K9 as well, Kenneth Murray. So that was kind of my connection there. Yeah, we've been getting after him, bro. I'm just trying to put some weight back on because obviously going from nickel back to linebacker, you got to put some weight back on and just training, trying to get ready for pro day. Trying to get in there for pro day and light it on fire. So
that's what's up. I feel like you will.
No doubt. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait.
You're gonna walk in there just like you did in practice that one day, and you're gonna say,
"Yeah, no, really,
yep.
really."
So what does the timeline look like right now? Like you're down there in Houston, you're training, you're doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
What does that look like? What does that kind of consist of up until your pro day? Is that early April?
It's pro day is March 9th.
March. Okay, March 9th. All right, early March.
About 6 weeks left.
Okay. Yep.
It's coming up. But yeah, I'll be here until I think my lease is up here at March 16th. So that gives me like an extra week to come back and train. And then sort of from there, I'll kind of figure it out. I'm still fingers crossed for an NFL combine invite. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think after pro day and stuff will be my first like time to breathe and sit down for maybe a week, and then we'll figure it out and keep going. But
so what's up? Yeah, is there any guys that you're on the team this next season that you're stoked for?
Man, you want me to go all day or give you a quick answer?
Bro, you can go all day.
We got time.
I'll give you a quick one. There's so many guys I can name off top. But there's some guys who have been kind of on my heart for whatever reason. I feel like Isaiah Coe is going to have an absolute dominant year. He flashed all year long, and just I think with one more offseason and one more just kind of get himself sure of the scheme, I think he's going to take off, man. You got Justin Harrington. I think he's going to take off as well. Shane Witter. There's some – I kind of give you some names guys might not be thinking about because obviously, there's so many guys. I'm going to keep it to those three names because if not, I'm going to keep talking about it all day. We're going to stop it right there on those three names.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, and stay tuned. You may see more of DaShaun and everything like that coming up as his path and his journey continues. We may put some more content and stuff on the channel as well. So we'll see what happens, but we love to continue following your journey and seeing where D White ends up, because the NFL and one team out there is going to get a hell of a player and a hell of a guy. So I can't wait.
No doubt. Me and you both, man. Me and you both.
That's what's up. But hey, that's pretty much all the questions we have for you, DaShaun. You're always welcome up on here on the podcast, bro. This is you have been on the podcast more than anybody else that we've had on.
Yeah,
we've had Chris Plank on twice. This will be your third time. You're like the OG of the podcast, basically.
Yeah. I might gotta keep coming back, keep my number one above.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Hey, he is the all-time, you have all-time QBs when you're younger and you're a kid. He's an all-time co-host.
Yeah,
he's got that seat right now. So
yeah,
he's called. He's like when your best friend, you're getting in the car, he's always calling shotgun. That's DaShaun right there. He's got the shotgun.
Everybody knows I'm shotgun on AnythingOU.
Yeah, bro. If you ever go on the podcast in the prayer or something, I'm gonna hop in there and be like, "We had him first."
We had him first. Danny, back up.
Hey, no, that'll be fun. I might ask Danny to get on there just so I can laugh at Danny.
Hey,
that's gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah,
that's good content right there. But hey, DaShaun, we love you for sure, and we're excited to see what goes on with you, and hopefully, like Drew was saying, we might have some things in the works for our Sooner fans out there. But
emojis.
But yeah, man, appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Alrighty. I appreciate you guys.